so much for joining the interview. Before we begin, are you comfortable with being recorded?
Yes, yes, I am.
Alright. So, do you realize that the purpose of this conversation is to understand your financial literacy? So, you realize and agree to have volunteered for this interview?
Yes, I'm aware of this and I have volunteered.
Alright, so would you like to start by introducing yourself?
Yes. Hello, I'm Jalil Kabir. I'm 22 years old and a computer science student at Taylor's University.
Alright. What is your past understanding of financial concepts? Do you think you realize basic financial concepts, or what's your understanding so far?
So I had economics in high school. So I do understand the basics of inflation, purchasing power, demand and supply. But the more complicated topics I'm not that sure about.
Alright. That's completely fine. That's exactly the purpose of this. We'll take everything step by step. First, just to get an idea, how confident do you feel about things like interest rates, inflation, savings, and basic financial decisions?
So, owing to my slight financial background, I understand the concepts of them. I am comfortable with the idea as well, and I do budget a little bit. So,
Alright, that's good. Okay, so your survey responses have also shown that you answered the most general financial literacy questions correctly, and that's great because it tells us you have a great foundation to understand further decision making. But I also noticed you were slightly uncertain when questions involved risk-based decisions, like how bonds react to interest rates or how to manage debt. Would you say that's accurate?
yes, that is accurate. Risk is not something I'm very well educated about.
Alright, so we'll help you out, we'll talk about it. So first of all, we'll talk about derivatives. Have you heard terms like options, futures, and structured warrants before?
So I have heard about options and futures. I haven't heard about structured warrants, but the names are basically all I know about them. I don't know what they really are.
Totally understandable. That's alright because most beginners have not, and given your foundation level in financial literacy, that's perfectly okay. Let me simplify them for you. So, futures is a contract, it's a legal agreement to buy or sell something in the future at a fixed price. It is either standardized or traded on exchange. Let me give you an example. Let's say I am an aviation company and I have to buy fuel in the future. Given that today's price is 100 ringgit per liter, I know that the prices are going to rise to 120 in the future. So to protect myself from the raising prices, I will buy whatever amount of fuel I want to at today's price. Now that is called a future. So I'm going to buy the future for fuel now. Alright? Now we come to options. Options is exactly like futures, except it is you buy the right, you buy the choice to buy or sell it at a future price now. A call option is called right to buy. So when you buy things, it's called call option. And when you sell these things, it's called a put option. Okay? And you don't win or lose anything in it if you choose not to buy or sell the option. You only lose the premium that you use to buy the option. Coming to structured warrants, they are very similar to options except they are issued by banks and can amplify gains and losses. That is it.
So there's leverage.
Yes, that is about derivatives. What do you think about derivatives now that you know a little bit about it?
So since I have been told the logic behind them, they make more sense to me now. I understand what they are. I still wouldn't be all that comfortable taking decisions about them myself, but I feel more informed about them now, so I am more open to them in the future.
Alright. So we can come to the conclusion that you are confident, however, you still need experience to dive into the markets, right?
Yes.
Alright, that is exactly where your confidence goes, told me from the survey as well. Now, I will show you an infographic just to help you visualize it. Alright, there you go.
So options have an expiry date.
Exactly.
Thank you for showing it to me.
And another thing, derivatives have an underlying commodity. So whenever I say that I'm buying a future or an option, it is based on another asset. Like I can buy gold futures, knowing that gold prices are going to rise or fall. So they always have an underlying asset. It can also be index. Futures can also be based on market indexes.
Like the Dow Jones.
Exactly, yeah, perfect. Alright, now that you know a little about the derivatives environment, let's talk about your risk behavior. How comfortable are you with risk and decisions involving uncertainty?
So I'm moderately comfortable with risk as long as I understand all the factors that go into it.
Mhm.
So I'm not comfortable taking risks if I don't understand the
Alright.
risk involved. But as long as I understand it and it's not too big of a risk,
Mhm.
I'm usually comfortable with it.
Alright. So you would say that you prefer taking calculated risks,
Yes.
and as long as it's logically backed up, you're okay with it.
Yes.
Alright. So you're not risk averse but also not excessive. That sounds like you would belong in the category of moderate risk tolerance, which fits your questionnaire results. Also, so you've mentioned you've never been in high volatile markets before. How do you think stressful market situations would affect your stress levels?
I think if the markets were way too volatile, I would constantly be feeling stressed about my investment, losing money or whatever. I would prefer a more stable scenario.
Alright.
So I'm not comfortable with very aggressive markets like the cryptocurrency market,
Yeah.
for example, or like how the NFT market is going to
Mhm.
bust after a while.
Absolutely, yeah. So we can see that it's aligning with all of your risk profile answers. We can conclude that you have low exposure to derivatives. And before we move forward, I would like to ask, what is your source of income?
My source of income is my allowance from my parents
Mhm.
since I'm a student.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you are a moderate risk tolerating person with no stable income since you're a student, and all decisions regarding uncertainty have to be backed up by logic. Alright, so after today's explanation, how do you feel about derivatives overall?
I feel like I understand them a lot better. I am more open to exploring investment into derivatives as long as they're calculated risks and they promise mostly a stable average net positive for me. I don't mind investing in them, and also I want to learn more about them now.
Alright, that's amazing. Thank you so much for coming and interviewing for me.